Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Please work on anything you need to finish until attendance is completed.
Miss Huff, it's not the Google Classroom code. I need a from Google, Google Classroom. I don't have your classes there.
You don't, the assignments or?
The whole classroom. I don't have it on Google Classroom, and I'm asking if I can have a code to join because I don't have it.
It should be the code that I gave you yesterday. All you need to do is click on join a class.
Yeah, I did that, and it wasn't it. It told me that I couldn't find a classroom.
Okay, let me try to send it to you again, okay?
Okay.
If you're just coming in, please make sure that you are working on any assignments that have not been completed. And make sure that they get submitted, please. Okay, here's the class code to join, okay? Try it now and see if it works. Okay, good. Good. Please work on any assignments that you have not finished. If you have questions, please ask me. I'm here to help you. If you are just coming to class, for anyone just coming in, please work on any unfinished work until attendance is completed. If you need help with anything, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
if it keeps on like multiplying. I have like a ton of like the same work.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know it keeps multiplying. I don't know how to do them.
No, I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, I will try to find out why that's happening. That's so
Okay.
weird.
I know. Why is this everything like little like things?
I don't know. And when it rains, it pours, right? I have never seen that happen before. I will have to ask about that. Honestly, never seen that happen before. Let me find out. It's only one for each of those that you should be doing, but that's like crazy. Let me find out, okay?
Okay.
Hmm. Wow, it's normal on mine. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask somebody about yours because that's really crazy. Hmm. Okay. Jimena, share with me one more time, and I'm gonna take a screenshot and show it to our technological gurus.
Okay.
Did you try to refresh it? Wait. Slow down. Go down a little bit. Stop right there. Stop right there. I'm gonna take a picture of it. Okay, I will find out what that is and get back to you, okay? That is really weird. All right. Because that's not how mine looks. So weird. Okay. Make sure you are working on any assignments that need to be finished and turned in. 5 more minutes. Two more minutes. All right, guys, let's do announcements. Here we go.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Be Kind Pledge. I pledge to be encouraging, be supportive, be positive, be helpful, be honest, be considerate, be thankful, be responsible, be respectful, and to be a friend.
Hi, it's Miss Moreno. This year's Red Ribbon Week theme is Be Happy, Be Brave, Be Drug-Free. This theme is a reminder that by staying drug-free, you're sending a message to yourself and others about how much you value yourself, your overall health, your community, and your future. When you make healthy choices like being drug-free, you are much more likely to achieve your goals. So aim for the stars. We believe in you. So for Wednesday, which is tomorrow, it's Wear Red Day. Let's all celebrate our pledge to live a drug-free life by showing off our red. So tomorrow, please remember to wear red to school. So you can wear red like this, or you can wear a plain red shirt.
Come on up this Friday to grab your lunch in your costume. And if you do, you get to spin a wheel of prizes. So once again, this Friday, October 30th, wear your Halloween costume up with your families to grab your lunches. We'll take your picture for our announcement reel, and you get to spin the wheel and possibly win some awesome prizes. Good luck and get a good costume. Teachers, we're looking for a scary Zoom background. Which class has the scariest Zoom background this Friday? We're looking for a scary background from the teacher or the whole class. Winner's class gets something special for the class. So let's see whose class can get the scariest Zoom background this Friday. Good luck, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Congratulations to Miss Slover's class. They had perfect
Be
attendance
creative.
yesterday. Way to go, you rock stars. Check out these sight word superstars from Miss Ramirez's class. Alberto and Alexander, your sight word superstars. Bowie and Denise, you are sight word superstars. Jacob and Maite, you are sight word superstars. Ruben and Viana, you are sight word superstars. And Makiko, you are a sight word superstar. Congratulations to all those guys in Miss Ramirez's class. Sight words are super important. Keep up the good work. Congratulations to this Lexia superstar, Emiliano, in Miss Jasper's class. Emiliano completed 16 units in Lexia last week. Amazing job. Emiliano, your McDonald's gift card is on its way to you. Thank you for Miss Jasper, to her whole class for working so hard and getting your assignments in on time. You are all awesome. Congratulations, Miss Jasper's class. We had a whole bunch of folks who knew the trivia question from yesterday, that this pink ribbon stands for the fight against breast cancer. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'll take anything to do with fighting cancer because it's one of those things that we need to stand up for and fight against. Congratulations to Alexander Lopez. From Ms. Hofer, we have Humberto. From Ms. Oliver, we had Zodius. From Mr. Hernandez, we said Sonali. We had Sonali, Jessica, Juliet, Angel, Suzette, Camila. From let me see, from Miss Sepulveda, we had Rebecca Dominguez again. From Miss Jasper, we had Francisco Giovanni, Kaylee, Chloe, Alexander, Jaden, Galilea, Julian, Ronald, Bernard, Isaiah, and Perla. From Miss Cassie, we had Jayla, Micah, Barbara, Annie. We had Zaira Hartman, knew it was for Cancer Awareness Month. Happy Cancer Awareness Month, Zaira. From Miss Capcos, we had Alejandro, Reggie, Stephanie. From Miss Medrano, we had River and Denise. Congratulations to those guys. They were all the ones who got their answers in first. Nice job. We got one more student that got it right through Class Dojo. Jayla Tafoya, congratulations. You knew it meant to fight breast cancer. Congratulations. Trivia question for today. This one's a toughie. You gotta pay attention. What is this? I'll give you a hint. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yes, it's your nose. But what are those two holes called? Good luck. We have turkey nachos for lunch. Come on up between 10:30 and 12:30 and grab your lunch. Remember, we feed all children under the age of 18 for no cost to Pendergast during our virtual learning time. And so come on up between 10:30 and 12:30 to grab your lunch. Don't forget, come up on Friday in your costume to spin that wheel of prizes. We want to see lots of kids come up in their costumes to grab their lunches so we can safely see you and see how good you look in your costumes and take some pictures and get you to spin that wheel. So we'll see you on Friday in your costume, but come up every day between 10:30 and 12:30. Early birds 6:45 to 7:30 and grab those lunches. Good morning, Pendergast staff and students. Today is Tuesday, October the 27th. Thank you so much for getting up so early and getting on Zoom with us. It's getting dark out and it's getting chilly out in the morning, so I know how hard it is to wake up early in the mornings. We do appreciate you getting up and getting up on time. Remember, our classroom meetings start at 8 o'clock and we get started with school promptly at 8:30. So thank you so much again for getting on early enough to watch these announcements prior to 8:30. Also, thank you so much for getting your work turned in. It's crucial this quarter, especially, that you're showing that you're doing the work and that you understand what's going on in classrooms and that you're asking for help if you don't get it. Second quarter, everyone started with a 4. So now we're almost in the middle of week 2. You guys can do this. Keep turning the work in. I have faith. I know you can do it. We have a ton of smart folks at Pendergast and hard workers as well. So thank you so much for getting your work turned in. Remember, if you need help, please ask for help. Again, the teachers are putting together small groups. They're pulling you independent of your synchronous time, but make sure that you're asking for help during your synchronous time to get help with your activities and your learning. School's hard, work is hard, but you got to ask for help to get through it, and you will get through it. Don't get too far behind in assignments. I know one thing that happens sometimes is after a week or two, we don't do our work, we get backed up, and then we have 15 or 20 assignments due. There's no way to come back from that. You guys got to keep up every single day with what's going on in classrooms. Tuesday, not much happening Tuesday outside of your classroom, so keep working hard and keep doing what you're supposed to do. Don't forget, this Friday, we want you to come up and pick up your lunch with your families. Bring your, wear your costumes, spin the wheel of prizes, and Nancy will be giving away awesome stuff in the cafeteria this Friday between 10:30 and 12:30 if you wear your costume. We got treat bags, we got spinning wheels of fun, so come on up and do that as you pick up your lunch. Remember to socially distance, wear a mask. You got to keep safe while we're out here at school. 6 feet apart, wear your mask while you pick up your meals. But we're excited to see some folks and get some pictures of you guys in your costumes. We missed our movie night this year. We've always had a movie night around Halloween with a costume parade. And we will bring that back next year. I promise, as long as it's safe to do so, we will do that next year. And we'll do something similar in the spring if we're back at school as well. We really want to get those movie nights going. We have a lot of fun at movie nights. So in the spring, look forward to that if we come back to school. And in the meantime, stay safe at home. Stay home, Pendergast. That's our motto. Stay home, stay safe. Do what's expected the very best you can, even when no one's watching, because you know why? There's usually someone watching, right? Have a great Tuesday, and we will see you around very, very soon. Have a great day.
Awesome. We are done. let's get started with our work. You will need your notebooks and you will need your composition book at the end. Notebooks first. Let's take a look at our video that we didn't get to look at yesterday. And I'm gonna also pull up the book here. Hang on a second. I could have. Sure. So I hope you guys are all ready for Halloween. Anyone going trick-or-treating? As long as you do it safely. Hello, are you out there?
Yeah, trick-or-treating.
No trick-or-treating?
Yeah, me.
Some of you are?
I'm making a Halloween party on Saturday.
Oh, nice. Family, friends, both?
Both?
Oh, cool. Well, take a picture and send it in, okay? That way we can
Okay.
work. Costumes, it'll be cool.
I'm just saying, I'm only trick-or-treating if that one house that I live next to is handing out bags of chips like they did last year.
Oh, take a
They
picture.
hand out like
Going.
full-size candy bars and bags of chips. It's the best house.
Really?
No, the best house had just a whole a box of those bagged ramen, like the one you microwave for like 5 minutes. Yeah, they just had ramen out for people to take. That was dinner for us.
That
I
was
ate it.
dinner? Candy and chips, huh?
And also ramen.
And ramen. Oh, my grandson loves ramen. Oh,
I went to this one house that just lent us lots of candy
yeah?
and even Oreos.
Even Oreos?
Yep.
I remember trick-or-treating. It was always fun. All right, here we go. Oops, hold on. I can't do both of those at the same time. I have to do it this way. All right.
Chapter 5, The Feedlot, Turning Corn into Meat, page 59, City of Cows. I was speeding down a ramrod straight road in Finney County, Kansas, when the empty, dull, tan prairie suddenly turned black. The gently rolling sea of grass became a grid of steel fences as far as the eye could see. In Kansas, that is really far. I had made it to my destination, Pokey Feeders, a feedlot and home to 37,000 head of cattle. The feedlot appeared suddenly, but the stench of the place had been rising for more than a mile. I soon learned why. At first, I thought the cattle were standing or lying in a grayish mud. Then it dawned on me. That wasn't mud at all. It was manure. An endless series of cattle pens stretched to the horizon, each one home to 100 or so animals. The cattle pens, filled with animals and their waste, are built around a corn mill. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, the mill noisily turns America's river of corn into cattle feed. I traveled to Pokey early one January with the crazy idea of visiting a particular resident. I was looking for a young black steer with 3 white blazes on his face. The same one I'd met the previous fall on a ranch in South Dakota, 500 miles due north of here. In fact, the steer belonged to me. I'd purchased him as an 8-month-old calf from the Blair Ranch for $598. I was paying Pokey Feeders $1.60 a day for his room and board, all the corn he could eat. My idea was to follow my steer as he traveled through the meat-making branch of the industrial food chain. And so I had followed him here. CAFO Concentrated Animal Feeding Operation, page 61. The old-fashioned way of raising cattle, like the old-fashioned way of growing corn.
In your notes, make sure you write this down because this is going to be important later on. CAFO, it's the acronym. An acronym is a shortened version of the whole word, Concentrated Animal Feeding Operation. So you need to have this in your notes. All right. We're on chapter 5. Lots of messages. Okay.
Was on the small family farm. Cattle were raised in pastures, eating grass and hay, the food they naturally eat. But as corn took over the family farm, cows and other animals were pushed out. Cattle are now raised in densely packed animal cities like Pokies. These places are called CAFOs, Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations. Farmers gave up raising cattle because, as strange as it might seem, it costs a farmer more to feed corn than it costs a CAFO to buy it, thanks to those government subsidies. Eating meat used to be a special occasion in most American homes. Thanks to CAFOs, meat is now so cheap that many of us eat it 3 times a day. Of course, the American taxpayers have already paid part of the cost by subsidizing corn. But there are other costs involved in raising cattle that way, costs that shoppers don't see when they buy a steak at the supermarket. On the old-fashioned farm, there is really no such thing as waste. Animal manure goes back into the fields as fertilizer, but the waste from CAFOs is a huge source of very toxic pollution. Tons of animal manure are produced with no good way of disposing it. The feedlots are also breeding grounds for new and deadly bacteria. Some of these bacteria are finding their way into our food. And there is another cost to raising cattle on CAFOs, one that's even harder to see. These animals have evolved to eat grass, but in a CAFO, they are forced to eat corn at considerable cost to their health, to the health of the land, and ultimately to the health of us, their eaters. Steer number 534, page 62. I first met steer number 534 on the Blair Ranch, 5,500 acres of rolling short grass prairie a few miles outside Sturgis, South Dakota. In that part of the prairie, you can still make out ruts dug by stagecoaches and cattle drivers of the 1800s. In November, when I visited, the ground was covered with a thick coat of yellow and gold grass. Sprinkled across the fields were moving black dots, Angus cows and calves grazing. Ed and Rich Blair run what's called a cow-calf operation. Their business is the first stage in the production of a hamburger. It is also the stage least changed by the modern industrial food chain. Beef cattle still get born on thousands of independently owned ranches like theirs. Steer number 534 spent his first 6 months in these pastures, alongside his mother, a cow named 9534. The number means she was the 34th cow born in 1995. His mother never met his father, an Angus by the name of Gar Precision, 1680. Like all beef cattle, 534 is the product of artificial insemination. Born.
Okay. Where is this taking place? For one thing you need to know is the Blair Ranch. That's where the calf first started, and then it went to the Pokey farm after 6 months. So we're tracing the path of this calf or cow to the slaughterhouse, basically. So where is he born? On Blair Ranch, and then he goes to the Pokey farm or the CAFO. Okay.
Born on March 13th, 2001, in the birthing shed across from the road, 534 and his mother were turned out to pasture just as soon as the 80-pound calf could stand up. Within a few weeks, the calf began adding to his diet of mother's milk. He chose from a salad bar of grasses: western wheatgrass, little blue stem buffalo grass, green needlegrass. Apart from the Saturday in April, when he was branded and castrated, one could imagine 534 looking back on those 6 months as the good old days. No one can really know what a cow feels, but we can say with confidence that a calf grazing on grass is doing what he is supremely well suited to do. Yet after a few months at Pokey's, my steer will never have the opportunity to eat grain grass again. Cows and grass, a partnership. Page 63. Cows have evolved over millions of years to eat grass. It's not a one-sided deal. At the same time, grasses have evolved over millions of years to be eaten by cows. This partnership is one of nature's wonders. When a cow eats grass, it doesn't kill the plant. Grasses have evolved so that they can survive being eaten very well.
Okay, so this is important, guys. The cows have evolved over millions of years to eat this grass. Now humans are forcing them to eat corn. How's that going to affect the cows? They already said that they evolved, but eating the corn are costing issues for cows' health. Let's find out what happens.
As long as the cows give them a chance to recover. In return for being chewed on, the plants get help from the cows. The cow protects the grass habitat by eating young trees and shrubs that might compete with grasses. The animal also spreads grass seeds, plants it with his hooves, and then fertilizes it with his manure. Only certain animals, including cows, sheep, goats, and bison, can make a meal out of grass. They can do this because they have a specialized second stomach called a rumen. That's why these animals are called ruminants. The rumen is like a 25-gallon fermentation tank. Here is where the cow gets some help.
Okay, that's another word that you want to know. The rumen. The cows are actually called ruminants. The rumen is their second stomach. 2 stomachs where this food is processed. Bet you didn't know that.
Inside that tank lives a type of bacteria that dines on grass. The bacteria break down the cell walls of the grass and allows the cows to get at the protein and carbohydrates within. On the plains of the American West, where steer 534 was born, bison and the prairie grasses lived together in partnership for thousands of years. I guess we should include the bacteria in that partnership also. It was a natural solar-powered loop. The plants used the sun's energy to make food. The bison, with the help of bacteria, ate the grass and in return planted it, fertilized it, and defended its territory. It was a successful ecological system. A rumen has evolved into the perfect organ for digesting grass, but it is not good at digesting corn. So then, why is steer number 534 forced to eat corn instead of grass? The answer is one word: speed. Cattle raised on grass simply take longer to grow than cattle raised on corn. In my grandfather's time, cows were 4 or 5 years old at slaughter. Rich Blair explained to me, in the 50s, when my father was ranching, it was 2 or 3 years old. Now we get there at 14 to 16 months. What gets a steer from 80 to 1,100 pounds in 14 months is tremendous amounts of corn, food supplements, and drugs. Fast food, indeed. Cow chow, page 65. In October, 2 weeks before I made his acquaintance, steer number 534 was weaned from his mother. Weaning is the hardest time on a ranch for animals and ranchers alike. Cows separated from their calves will moke and bellow for days. The calves are prone to getting sick. Calves are weaned for a couple of reasons. First, it frees their mothers to have more calves. Second, it gets the calves, now 500 or 600 pounds, ready for life on the feedlot. The calves are rounded up and herded into a backgrounding pen. They will spend a couple of months there before boarding the truck for pokey feeders. Think of backgrounding as a training school for feedlot life. The animals are, for the first time in their lives, confined to a pen. They are bunk broken, taught to eat from a trough, and they must gradually get used to eating what is for them a new and unnatural diet. Here is where they first eat corn. It was in the backgrounding pen that I first met 534. Rather, it's where I handpicked him out. I had told the Blairs I wanted to follow one of their steers from birth to slaughterhouse. Ed Blair suggested, half jokingly, that I might as well buy one. Then I could have the whole beef making experience. He told me how to pick out a good calf, one with a broad, straight back and thick shoulders. Basically, you're looking for a sturdy frame on which to hang a lot of meat. I also wanted a calf with a face I could easily spot in the crowd, so I could easily find him again. I went out to the pen and gazed over the sea of 90 black Angus cattle. Almost at once, steer number 534 moseyed over to the fence and made eye contact with me. He had a wide, stout frame and 3 easy-to-spot white marks on his face. Here was my boy. New home, new diet, page 67. Steer 534 and I traveled from the ranch to the feedlot in separate vehicles the first week of January. It felt a lot like going from the country to the big city. A feedlot is not a very pleasant city, however. It is crowded and filthy and stinking with open sewers, unpaved roads, and choking air thick with dust. At the center of the feedlot stands the feed mill. That is where 3 meals a day for 37,000 animals are designed and mixed by a computer. 1 million pounds of feed pass through the mill each day. Every hour of every day, a tractor trailer pulls up to the loading dock to deliver another 50 tons of corn. The driver opens a valve in the belly of the truck, and a golden stream of grain begins to flow down a chute into the bowels of the mill. Around to the other side of the building, tanker trucks pump in thousands of gallons of liquefied fat, usually beef fat from a nearby slaughterhouse. There's also
Oh my gosh. So they're pumping in beef fat from a slaughterhouse that these cows are eating. Oh, I had no idea. That's kind of disgusting, don't you think? Oh,
Poor Frank.
huh? What is he telling us? Oh my gosh. Makes you never want to eat meat. Ooh. How do you feel about this?
They're feeding Frank wrong.
It does sound wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're feeding Frank wrong.
Frank? You named him
Yeah, all the cows are named Frank.
Cute. Okay. Yeah, they're feeding Frank wrong. That's terrible. I know my aunt had cows, but they were all on a farm where they ate grass. I never knew these cows went through this.
Frank wants that type of luxury again.
He wants the first luxury he had, right? Go back to the grass fields. All right, let's see what happens to Frank.
gently rolling sea of grass became a grid of steel fences as far as the eye could see. In Kansas, that is really far. I had made it to my destination, Pokey Feeders, a feedlot and home to 37,000 head of cattle. The feedlot appeared suddenly, but the stench of the place had been rising for more than a mile. I soon learned why. At first, I thought the cattle were standing or lying in a grayish mud.
Hold on. We lost our spot.
Or more to grow feed corn than it costs a calf. In that part of the prairie, you can still make out ruts dug by stagecoaches and cattle drivers a few miles outside Sturgis, South Dakota. In that part of the prairie, you can still make out ruts dug by.
Sorry.
First met steer number 534 on the Blair Ranch, 5,500 acres of rolling short grass prairie, a few miles. Make out ruts dug by stagecoaches and cattle drivers of the 1800s. In November, when I visited, the ground was covered with a thick coat of yellow and gold grass. Sprinkled across the fields were moving black dots, Angus cows and calves grazing. Ed and Rich Blair run what's called a cow-calf operation. Just as soon as the 80-pound calf could stand up. Within a month, the plants get help from the cows. The bison, with the help of bacteria, ate the grass and in return planted it for truck for pokey feeders. Think of backgrounding as a training to hang a lot of meat. I stout frame and 3 easy to spot white marks on his face. Here was my boy. New home, new diet, page 67. Steer 534 and I traveled from the ranch to the feedlot in separate vehicles the first week of January. It felt a lot like going from the country to the big city. A feedlot is not a very pleasant city, however. It is crowded and filthy and stinking with open sewers, unpaved roads, and choking air thick with dust. At the center of the feedlot stands the feed mill. That is where 3 meals a day for 37,000 animals are designed and mixed by a computer. 1 million pounds of feed pass through the mill each day. Every hour of every day, a tractor trailer pulls up to the loading dock to deliver another 50 tons of corn. The driver opens a valve in the belly of the truck and a golden stream of grain begins to flow down a chute into the bowels of the mill. Around to the other side of the building, tanker trucks pump in thousands of gallons of liquefied fat, usually beef fat from a nearby slaughterhouse. There's also the protein supplement, a sticky brown goop made of molasses and urea. Urea is a form of synthetic nitrogen made from natural gas, similar to the fertilizer spread on George Naylor's fields. In a shed attached to the mill sits vats of liquid vitamins. Beside them are 50-pound sacks of antibiotic drugs. Along with alfalfa, hay, and silage, stems and leaves of corn plants, all these ingredients will be automatically blended together to make the feed for cattle. 3 times a day, a parade of dump trucks fills up with this feed and carries it to the cattle pens. Before being put on this strange diet, new arrivals to the feedlot are treated to a few days of fresh, long-stemmed hay. They don't eat on the long ride and can lose up to 100 pounds. The hay gives them a chance to get adjusted. Over the next several weeks, they'll gradually step up to a daily ration of 32 pounds of feed, including 24 pounds of corn. That would be enough corn to fill a paper.
What happened?
I don't know. My internet just kind of.
Chapter 5,
cut out.
Part 2. Cattle eating cattle,
on.
page 69. Feedlots are beef factories. Their goal is to turn corn into beef. But corn isn't the only thing that cattle are fed. You might be as shocked as I was to learn that they're also fed parts of other cattle. That's right, these herbivores, natural plant eaters, are fed meat.
Oh
For
my
years,
God.
leftover beef scraps were ground up and put into cattle feed. After all, it was protein, and cattle need protein to grow. Then,
Isn't that cannibalism?
dying of a sickness called mad cow disease.
That is cannibalism. They're eating other cows just to gain fat so that we can eat them. So that's kind of gross. That's why they ended up with this mad cow disease, which is something you should know about because it does happen. Pretty gross. I don't know if I want to eat meat anymore. We have to really do some research to find out if that's true. Okay? Let's keep going.
Disease. Mad cow is a brain disease that is always fatal. It is spread by eating the brains of infected animals. Ground up cattle brains were put into cattle feed, and some of those cows got mad cow disease. Human beings who ate infected beef also got the disease, although there were no human cases reported in the United States. The government banned the practice in 1997, but there are some exceptions. As I already noted, beef tallow or fat is one of the ingredients that cows at Pokey will eat. Where does the tallow come from? It comes from other cows that have been sent to the slaughterhouse. Though Pokey doesn't do it, the rules also permit feedlots to feed cattle protein from other kinds of animals. Feather meal and chicken litter, that is, bedding, feces, and discarded bits of feed from chicken farms, are accepted cattle feeds, as are chicken, fish, and pig meal. Some public health experts worry that other diseases like mad cow could start to appear because of this practice. Sick from corn, page 70. Compared to all the other things we feed cattle these days, corn seems positively wholesome. Yet feeding corn to cattle goes against the natural order almost as much feeding them beef. During my day at Pokey, I spent a few hours with Dr. Mel Metzen, the staff veterinarian. Dr. Mel, as he's known at Pokey, runs a team of 8 cowboys. Their job is to ride the yard's dusty streets, spotting sick animals and bringing them into Pokey's 3 hospitals for treatment. From Dr. Mel, I learned more than any beef eater might want to know about the life of the factory farm steer.
Oh my gosh. So what do you think about that? Today you can write your reflection. This is going on page 144 in your composition books. I'm going to just show you the composition book here.
That is.
What do you think of that? I think that's pretty. I didn't want to read this book because it was going to make me sick. But make sure you're putting it in your composition book. I'll take a picture of this so that way you have it as an example for your reflection, okay? But what do you think of that? Who's doing this to the cows? Who's doing this to the cows?
My first,
The farmers, I think. No, yeah.
my first instinct was like the government, but I don't think so.
You thought it was the government?
Yep, I don't think so now.
I kind of think it is the government, don't you? I mean, because they're the ones regulating all of this.
Maybe.
Maybe partly.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm wondering if he's doing like the most of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it's too expensive to feed people cattle, should we even be doing that? Oh my gosh, it's a lot to think about. What is,
You know, we messed up.
what?
You know how they feed the cows, other cows? It'd be
Yeah.
messed up if they fed, like one of the like a mother or father cow to one of the kids. That'd be so messed up.
Oh, that's terrible to even think about. But when they were doing this, it was probably true. The only saving thing about this is when you look at this paragraph, it said that because of the mad cow disease, the government banned the practice in 1997. But look at how many years they started doing all of this back in the 1920s or 30s. That's like 70 years that they did this. Poor cows. And now they eat chicken feces and stuff. All of that
Ew.
into the cow and into us when we eat it. That just makes me not want to eat meat. Oh. But I love steaks. Don't you love steaks?
Meat tastes too good to let it go.
So good.
They do taste too good. Oh, but this makes you think. These are the ingredients for feeding the cows. Look at this. Chicken manure, cattle manure, chocolate, stale pastries, cement dust. Cement dust. Oh my gosh, where would they get cement dust?
Why do they put cement dust in the animals?
Exactly. Why? Molasses, candy, urea.
What is
What's
your
that?
Not
Why are they getting
number,
fed candy?
it's number one when you go to the bathroom.
Gotcha. It's the urine.
Huh?
The urine.
Yeah, urine, feathers,
Oh.
meat scraps, fish meal,
Pasta?
pasta, peanut skins, brewery waste. That breweries are the
Are they getting them drunk or something? Because that's messed up. Brewery waste.
yeah, brewery waste. That has to do with alcohol. It might be the hops though that make the beer and wines and stuff. Cardboard. They're feeding them cardboard. Corn silage, pesticides. Which
Pesticides, isn't that stuff you put on like plants or something?
yeah, to kill bugs, stuff like
Ew.
that. All of that's going into these young cows to fatten
Whoa.
them up. Oh, how does that make you feel? What does that make you think? Oh my gosh. I'm serious.
Gross.
Being a vegetarian. All right, let's go to our other video. That's just gross. Let's see, we're going to the next. Did we do this one? Part 2? Hang on. Yeah, we read both of those. So, oh, it's like vanilla. It's one that you've had before.
Did you say page 144 for the reflection or what?
144, yes.
And have you already showed the questions or not yet?
I only have one question. How does this information make me feel or make you feel?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's just one question today.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
all
have
right.
to do your reflection first of what you learned, your who, what, when, where, why, and how. How is this happening? Who's involved? Like the CAFO and Pokey Farms and the First Farmers. What is happening? They're taking young cows that are only a couple of months old and taking them to a farm to fatten them up to go to the slaughterhouse. When does this happen? Over the course of like 15 months. Where does it happen? First on a grass farm, then in a feed lot. So just putting some information using your 5 W's and your H. I'll send you the picture, okay? Let's go.
Cows better, so, to be honest.
Huh?
They treat cows better in Mexico.
Do they? Because they're on a farm?
Yeah, because like in Mexico, you have to like buy like the cows when they're like young or something if you want them for like a long time. And from there, you give the diet that they need to get big, and then you kill them to eat
afterwards. Yeah.
So they'll end up being, but like they like live more happy lives.
Yeah. They live a natural life the way that they're supposed to, right?
Yeah, instead, but they, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's my grandma. My grandpa had a farm, and they have a farm in Oklahoma, and they used to raise cows. Now my grandparents are, my aunt is too old to do it, but they raised all kinds of cows, but they were all grass-fed cows. They were never slaughterhouse cows like these guys. Such a totally different life. All right, we have a few minutes. We're going to listen to author's tone. Remember yesterday we heard author's purpose, author's point of view. Now we're going to do author's tone. And I want you to think of how the author sounds as he's describing all of this. I kind of get the feeling his tone makes me think that he's kind of grossed out at all the things that happen to these cows. But you come up with what you think the tone of the story is in chapter 5, okay? So let's listen to this one and see what the author's tone is.
In the previous video, we saw how writers have a specific purpose when they write. We also saw that they bring their point of view, which colors what they say and how they say it. There's something else that's very important, the author's tone. So stick around and let's see how understanding the author's tone can help you improve your reading comprehension.
So these are just
Hi,
notes
welcome
in
back to
your
Snap
notebook.
Language. My name is Mark Franco. This video is part of a series about detecting and interpreting elements in writing that help you improve your reading comprehension. So please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. We saw that the writer's point of view affects what the writer actually says about a topic. Depending on your point of view, you may feel very differently about things. Depending on how you feel, you treat the topic differently too. So your point of view affects your attitudes, and your attitudes affect how you express yourself.
Okay, that part is important for tone. Author's tone. Your point of view affects your attitudes, and your attitudes affect how you express yourself. Take some notes. Ready?
Attitudes and opinions affect your tone. For example, let's say we have a meeting, but you're very late. Hear the differences in tone. What happened? You're late. What happened? You're late. What happened? You're late. The words were the same, but you heard the differences in the tone I used, right? So actually, the message was not the same. I communicated more than the words were saying by themselves.
Late dog. Sorry, forgot to.
So how does the writer's tone really work in writing? Word choice. Writers select the words they want to use very carefully because they want to communicate their message exactly. Thankfully, the language gives you many options that communicate many nuances. For example, I can say your lateness is annoying or irritating, infuriating. You have no idea how utterly infuriating your lateness is. Whoa, this last one was quite pissy. So you see that by using different vocabulary, you can express the message plus something else, the tone in which the message is intended. Let's put it all together. We've been learning about the author's purpose, point of view, and tone. Let's say the writer wants to write a passage in psychology using facts and really good information. So the purpose is to inform. The writer may have a point of view about the topic, which may affect the information he or she includes. What tone is appropriate for this? Probably a neutral or serious tone. Now, let's say the writer wants to write about his position against criminalization of marijuana in the United States. The purpose will likely be persuasive. If the writer feels very strongly about his point of view, he or she will use a negative, even angry tone to talk about the criminalization of marijuana users, but a positive, maybe hopeful tone to talk about the decriminalization of the use of marijuana. As you can see, these elements in writing work hand in hand. As the reader, your job is to determine the writer's purpose, point of view, and tone to interpret the message. Doing so will improve your reading comprehension. Understanding the writer's purpose tells you what information you need to focus on while you read. Determining the author's point of view helps you evaluate the information and the author's possible biases toward. For example, I can say, in hand. As the reader, your job is to determine the writer's purpose, point of view, and tone to interpret the message. Doing so will improve your reading comprehension. Understanding the writer's purpose tells you what information you need to focus on while you read.
Okay, so this is important as the reader. You want to know what that author's purpose is. So you're looking at that information that they're giving you and determining whether it's informative, to entertain, or to persuade. You have to make those decisions as the reader. So this is important for understanding the text.
Determining the author's point of view helps you evaluate the information and the author's possible biases.
Remember yesterday we talked about biases. Sometimes an author is set on one way of thinking and seeing things. They're not going to let anything else color or sway how they think. You have to determine their point of view and if you see any biases in it. Do we see any biases in Poland's writing? Maybe. He's very strongly against what is happening with these cows. Is that a bias or is that just facts? You as the reader have to determine that.
So with the topic, detecting the writer's tone helps you understand not only the words you're reading, but also the attitudes the author is conveying.
Okay, now this is the tone. Word choice matters. If you want to understand how that author is feeling about something, look at the choice of words that they use. Are they angry when they say these words? Are they neutral? Are they happy? The words that they choose helps you to understand the tone. Okay?
I hope you enjoyed learning how these things come together in reading, and I hope this will help you improve your reading comprehension.
Okay, so that's tone, author's tone. And I think this one's only 3 minutes. This is a quick look at point of view again, just to go over it and refresh it with everybody.
Hey, this is Mr. Sato, here to explain point of view. Narrative point of view, or POV, is simply the perspective from which the story is told. In other words, who is telling the story. There are two basic kinds of POV, first person and third person, and within those two kinds are a few variations. So we'll talk about 5 different kinds altogether. First person narration is when a character in a story is narrating it. So,
we're gonna save this one. So, as you are writing your reflection, he really does, doesn't he, Raphael? As you are writing your reflection, think about the 5 W's and the H. Who's being spoken about? Why is the author focusing on them? What is happening to the characters? And right now, the characters are the cows. Where are they? Why is this happening? And how is it happening? Especially changing their diets like they did. These are all things that you want to think about as you are doing your reflection. Okay? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. And then tell how you personally feel about this. For me personally, I am seriously thinking of going vegetarian. But I still have to do a little more research of my own. Is Mr. Poland correct about all of this? I don't know. You have to decide for yourself. That's where your point of view comes in. Okay? Other people may feel, so what? Everybody has to eat something. So think about it. How does it affect you? How does it affect your families? Are there any questions? No?
Do we put at the top, like of the top of the reflection?
Here, let me show you. You want to put the heading as chapter 5, reflection. And I just put omnivore because you're going to be reflecting about other stories later. Then I started my reflection. Make sure you use complete sentences. And then I just put this on the side to remember what I need to reference when I go through my reflection. My who, what, when, where, why, and how. It helps me to focus when I write. My question is, how does this information make me feel? Kind of grossed out. Okay, just put complete sentences, and you don't have to fill up the whole page, but write a few sentences, okay? How does it make you feel? And remember,
And then, what's it called? Isn't there like an assignment they have to put this to? Like you have to take a picture and then upload it.
yeah, take a picture of it and upload it to the one with the vocabulary words.
So you have to upload those two, like
Yeah, just those two.
Vocabulary
Vocabulary and this one. Okay.
Okay.
And that's it for today. Pretty simple, right?
I already did the vocabulary, so yeah, I just need to do this.
Okay, excellent. Anyone have questions or concerns? Anyone need help with the vocabulary? The words are on the Google Classroom site for you. Okay. No questions? All right, you're free to go. If you need help with anything, I'm here for a little bit. See you later.
All right, see you later.
Okay, take care.
You too.
See you later, guys.
Wait, where are the vocabularies again? The words?
They're on the Google site, the Google assignment. Go to classwork.
Oh.
The assignment.
How much? Did you get anything for my stuff?
For that screen? Oh, not yet. I have to contact, oops, where am I going? I have to contact the tech department because that's really weird. Hang on.
Oh, thank you. And can you also send me the one for the 8th grade? I forgot about to tell you that. I didn't get the 8th grade one either.
Oh, I thought you took a screenshot. It was on that list I sent you yesterday.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't it.
It didn't show up?
No.
Okay, here you go. I'm gonna copy and paste it into the chat, okay?
Okay.
Okay, that one is for the 8th grade class.
I needed it for
Yeah. All right, you got it?
Yeah, it's taking a little bit. Yeah, I got
Awesome. All right. So you should be set now, okay? Let me know if you need help with any of the others.
it. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. See you later. Michaela, everyone's taking off to do their work. If you need help, let me know. You're the only one here. Michaela? Okay. I'm going to close this out for now, okay? I'll talk to you later. Make sure you go to math.